yesterday.
now.
Oh god, we all froze on my thing. Why did we all froze?
I don't know.
Freeze? There we go. We're not frozen anymore. It's okay. I guess I'll go live. Episode 16.
Is that what we're on already?
Yeah.
We're on episode 16. Yay. Hello.
This is just called X-Ray.
X-ray.
1981.
X-ray, X-rated.
X-ray / hospital massacre /
I love that the name of it changed
Valentine.
in a week.
I know, it's super weird. Like,
I'm just gonna put X-Ray and then we can bitch about.
Because it came up
changing.
as something different on Paramount Plus as well, because I pulled it up and I'm like, it told me it was supposed to be this, and then I was like, all right, let me put an X-ray. Oh, there's the movie.
mm-hmm.
Well, I hope that's the movie. And then I watched it, like, oh, okay. I hope that was it.
I hope you watched the same movie we watched.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah.
it.
It sounds like we did,
like-
so I'm not too worried
concerned
about
that
it.
we all might have watched the wrong movie because of all the different fucking names this movie has.
I know.
All right. Well, we're live.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know. Who wants to introduce today? Do I introduce?
I'm actually awake this time.
I mean,
Yeah, me too.
I'm not as I yawn. Oh my god.
Wow.
We're definitely more lively than last episode.
Yeah, because I'm not on
but-
Dramamine.
Off to a good start, guys.
Well, welcome to episode 16 of Apartment Theater, your lovely podcast where we watch the worst rated horror movies and give up
depending on the
our
episode.
reviews and possibly our will to live, depending on what we watch.
Yeah.
Today's episode, it was a Cass movie.
It was a
It
cast
was my movie, which I kind of just, in true Cass fashion, just Googled some shit, and went, yep, that looks good. And it ended up being, the first title that came up was Hospital Massacre. And then come to find out, words are hard. It is also known as X-Ray, or Else, or Be My Valentine, or Ward 13. Apparently that is the, like, rare title to find it by, is Ward 13.
Is it like a scavenger hunt of names?
I don't know. It could be. I'm just assuming that it's like, maybe it depends on, like, where it was released. Like, you know how sometimes names change depending on, like, the nation that it's...
Yeah, but
yeah,
they're
like
all
I go as
English
Justin in
names.
America, and then I go by Eduardo when I'm in Brazil.
That's super weird, but okay. How often do you go to Brazil, Justin? Every night.
We're not talking about
secretly.
this.
Don't worry. Whenever apparently I receive packages from Cass, I'm in Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
baby. Oh, you're talking.
Yeah,
Never
that's
mind.
super weird.
Yeah, Cass has got a pretty big package, so I can see.
So
I do.
this movie's shit.
I mean, it's when did it come out? The 60s?
1981.
81. Okay. It's
So
it's
20
set
year
in the
difference.
60s.
I
It's set in the 60s. No, it's set in
It
the
starts in
70s.
the. It starts in the 60s,
60s,
and then it
but
goes
it takes place in the 70s.
something like
believe.
that.
Like late 70s.
all right.
Sure.
Something.
I need to talk about this opening scene because
I thought it was great.
I was
I
so
hated it,
confused
but I thought
by
it was great.
the
Okay.
kid staring in the window. Did the kid staring in the window kill the brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, how did he quickly get in, hang this girl's brother off a coat rack, which I'm gonna say that thing's pretty sturdy to hold up probably that kid was probably like 5 years old, so that's like 50-ish pounds, right? I don't know how much kids weigh.
I was thinking it was like maybe somewhere between 7 and 10. 8
Okay, so a little heavier.
yeah.
Either way, that is a very sturdy hat stand. And then he goes back out the window to peep in.
Keep watch.
So,
I just...
He's
so
just a little incel of a boy.
real quick,
Harold.
Harold.
Cass
Yeah.
should Cash should give a plot synopsis of this movie first, and then we'll go into it, just so that everyone has a general idea of what this movie is about, and then we'll go from there.
Even though we jump around all the time.
Yes,
because we're all ADHD like fuck ups or some shit. Anyway,
we are.
quick synopsis here. We have Susan, and I guess it's not her little brother. I thought it was, but like she makes some comment about, look at the cake my mom brought us or whatever. So that leads me to believe that it's not, the little boy in the beginning is not her, like, I don't know, relative. That's the word. Anyway, so we're introduced to young Susan, and then there is creepy boy Harold, who I'm guessing is like, preteen, 13, 14-year-old. Creepy incel boy who sneaks in and kills unnamed child. I think he has a name. I didn't care to remember it. Susan freaks out. He, she sees him in the window, like, giggling that he killed this kid. Oh, well, I guess, rewind just a little bit. It's Valentine's Day, by the way, in the movie. This is very important, because Harold gives a Valentine to Susan, and he knocks on her door and runs away, and then he sees Susan and whoever this kid is, like making fun of him, and that's why he decides to go in and murder, I assume. But Susan sees him and freaks out and screams, and then we cut to 19 years later, and Susan is much older, way fucking hotter.
That's an understatement.
Like, she's reaping
becomes
goddess
a
rewards
fucking
here.
Bombshell.
Yeah, basically. And my synopsis of this, the rest of the movie, is a great representation of the way women feel when, like, men are around in general. Just like all the men in this hospital that she is at to pick up some test results for some fucking reason.
Is it a hospital, though?
It is a hospital.
Yeah, it's a hospital.
Okay, the reason I ask is because they're doing lab tests with rats in a hospital, and that is not a thing.
That is.
And also,
in the 60s and 70s it was. Based on my background, you can actually look this up online, but it's, the standards for that kind of shit were not super good in the 60s and 70s. That's actually when we started making laws and regulations that they could not be there.
Well, now I am educated.
That's when that shit started, like, flipping, because all the animal rights activists started, like, showing up and be like, hey, maybe don't. They were much, much more aggressive than that, though.
Danny, we're going to get flagged now for spreading medical misinformation.
Hospital.
Yeah, probably. But, I mean, it's, like, roughly around that time that happened. You can look it up. It's OLAW and,
but yeah,
whatever
so
fucking shit is. Anyway, all I'm thinking about is rats now. Fuck. Oh yeah. Anyway, she goes to this hospital, pick up some test results. Which not even test results. It's supposed to just be like, okay, you had a physical exam, you can now have this new position at a job, type thing.
But is that what she was doing? Because I literally had no idea why she was getting this shit.
That's what she was supposed to be doing. But there's a creepy doctor in the hospital, who we fucking know who it is. Like, we know. It's not a surprise at the end that it's fucking Harold. How he managed to grow up and become a doctor after murdering a child himself, like, I mean, it was the 60s, kids got away with shit. No one gave a shit.
Like murder.
Like murder. But so he switches her test results for these very dramatic looking x-rays that is never explained. When the one doctor looks at them, the one is in fact upside down. I noticed that because the pelvis part of the x-ray was up top, and I was like, well, that's not how that's supposed to look. But like they never ever throughout the entire movie explain to her what is wrong. They just keep like sequestering her to a room and like, you need to relax, this is bad. And she just keeps trying to escape, but every man keeps like dismissing her. Even the like nurses dismiss her.
The nurses
And
were bitches.
there's
The
like this
amount of
oh
attitude
yeah.
they gave.
I mean, nurses usually are. They deal with a lot of shit. I feel like, Uh anyway, but at about like the 45 mark is when we actually get into like the slasher part of the movie, when he just starts going on his like full out murder spree. And that's when you can tune out and not pay attention anymore because it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't matter to begin with. I was very confused on everything that was happening. I questioned how he went 19 years and then all of a sudden he sees, I guess, the girl he loves and just starts murdering everybody in the hospital. Except the old ladies and the drunk. By the way,
love the old ladies.
The drunk was fantastic. I'm not very happy about him like trying to come on to her or anything. He was drunk. That's not an excuse, but
no, he was a creep.
He just showed up everywhere.
Every man in that hospital was a fucking creep.
Everybody in that whole hospital was fucking weirdos.
I like the old Russian lady with the spoons.
Yeah, she was cool.
This movie made no sense, to be quite honest.
No, it didn't.
Everything
like the biggest like annoyance scene for me was like when the other whatever doctor got a hold of her x-rays, because her original doctor was killed, and that took entirely too fucking long for Dr. Harold to fucking take out her first doctor. That was the most fake suspenseful shit I've ever experienced in my life. But so she's out of the picture. She's the first one killed, and then it takes like another 30 minutes to kill a second person or something. But yeah, the second doctor that's like reviewing her stuff and is like super dismissive, male doctor, that's the one who holds the x-rays upside down, and I'm like,
he's not a very good doctor.
No.
He also does the groping.
That's the scene that I don't like. He makes her get undressed. He's like, we need to do an exam. And it's like, that, everything about this creeps me out. Like, it was a rape scene without sex. Like, it was a rape scene.
I was waiting for him to like come on to her, because I was saying like, all right, she has the gown on that you'd wear,
and then he just takes it off of her.
Yeah, you keep the gown on while they do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're supposed to do. They keep the gown on while they do that. He was getting very, very close to her
coder.
No square.
No square.
It's just all she did the movie though was scream. Like, aside from definitely freaking out by men that she should have punched any of them, she was free to punch any of them or kick them. But she just screamed a lot. I liked how she hid. I think she was the worst person to ever hide. Like, hiding behind like the curtains, and her feet are hanging out. She's trying to grab her lighter with her foot. She's hiding in the
curtains,
the archives, and she
I'm sorry.
pushes
the
off.
Archives.
Leave me alone. Fuck you.
I'm sorry. If it wasn't going to be me, it was going to be someone else.
Yep.
The archives where the doctor is looking through the files, and then he points the flashlight, and it clearly goes into her face.
Yeah.
But he's just like, oh, I guess it's nothing.
She like doesn't like pop down quick enough. You can see her hand purposely pushing that envelope.
Yeah, the envelope's off.
Yeah. The axe in the back of the doctor's head from Harold, who just, I don't know, he's just going after everybody.
Yeah, I mean, once he like got going, he was really like just taking him out left and right.
Yeah.
For a bit, and then
For a bit.
it's just slow nothing. Like you're just
He left the old
It's
ladies
just
alone.
yeah, he did.
yeah, I don't know what
They
was
weren't
going
worth
on with
it.
them. They were like spectral beings or something. They were just
I was thinking they
yeah,
were ghosts, to be quite honest with
that's what
you.
I was thinking too. I was like, these bitches are either some like fucked up ghosts that he's like killed in the past, or they're like some representation of the fates, because there's 3 of them and like they just keep like creeping around.
You're
and
giving
say
this movie
ominous
too much
shit to
credit.
her while she's in the room.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just like really cryptic and very strange.
I just like when they're dressed and there's they're like attached at the hip, like very, very
I know.
close with
When
the
they're up
fog.
walking around.
Yeah, the fog behind them. They're just walking
Oh,
around watching everything.
that's the other thing. Okay, so her first doctor, Dr. Jacob. I don't know why I remember that name, but I do. Um,
Come be
so
honest, I don't even remember any
apparent
of their
like
names.
at the like the the first time she goes into the hospital, they, tell her she needs to go to the 8th floor, and for whatever reason, she ends up accidentally going to the 9th floor, where she is interrupted and with like by dudes in gas masks that are like, "You can't be up here. We're fumigating." And I'm like, "That's a weird thing to do in a hospital, but okay."
Oh, so if you're fumigating, wouldn't it be like the entire building, not just like a
Right.
floor?
A floor. Yeah, that's kind of
Because if you're
weird.
doing like one floor, it's gonna come down,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, does
It's
that
going to circulate through the system. Yeah.
anyone that does fumigating, please comment somewhere. Maybe we'll see it someday.
We'll find out. But
We'll see our actual reviews one day. We still don't see reviews. If people actually give us reviews, we see none of them because we don't know where to find them.
we're lost. What is the internet? Are we
Yeah.
even on it?
I
No.
don't
Anyway,
know.
well, so she's interrupted by those 3 guys. And then Dr. Jacob gets fucking paged up there. And I'm like, wait, are you unaware that the 9th floor is being fumigated and that you need a fucking gas mask in order to go up there? Which, by the way, she doesn't take. She has like a rag and she's like sort of holding it
And then she
on
just
her
gives up
face.
and is just
And then
walking
she
around
just
like
gives up.
normal.
Yeah. And I'm like, how? What? And like, the only people who actually care about the fumigation of the 9th floor is those 3 guys. Anybody else who goes up there, doesn't matter. They're fine. It's just a spooky 9th floor. What?
I don't.
Like,
I
and we
was.
go up there multiple times. Like, it's Harold's killing ground. It is his
Until he gives up on
domain.
that and then just goes down to the other
Yeah.
floors, which every time he's killing somebody on that floor, it's always him and one person.
And
There
one
is
person.
nobody else in this hospital.
Nobody else
and
around.
I'm like,
Nope.
have you never been to a hospital? Because
Yeah.
there's people constantly there.
Mhm.
There is never a time where you can just go down a hall and there's nobody there. There is always somebody there, or there's people in the rooms. Not every single room is vacant or whatever. Like, it's a hospital. They're gonna be taken.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Especially during a panoramic.
yeah. Yeah,
just,
this Panasonic's been crazy.
When
Really?
when he killed the black lady that was typing stuff, and this is my question. So, and it's the only scene that you can see there is a lot of people, because the one lady pops in to see if she wants lunch. I'm pretty sure that's what she asked. I was
Yes.
very zoned out at this point.
Something like that, yeah.
She says no thank you, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking, the lady like talking when she has the open door, there's a lot of nurses
Yeah, there's
walking
like
by
people
her.
like walking back and forth, yeah.
Yeah,
The
there's a
busiest
lot
hall.
of people. And not even 2 minutes after she closes door and leaves, this guy pops out of nowhere to kill her, and she starts screaming. You're gonna tell me that no one heard her screaming?
I know, right?
Like,
I mean, they did just like basically shove her into a glorified closet to let her type up documents, so
With
Maybe
rats.
not. Yeah, with rats. I guess she was actually in a lab. She was a lab tech of some kind. Yeah.
Sometime.
She was making a report.
Oh,
Honestly, I don't understand why the rats would have been in there.
I also don't understand the home, like the random scene with the kid. Like there was
Oh, her child.
there was no supporting anything with that.
Mhm.
Nothing would change if you kept that, like, take that scene, like that split scene out of the movie, nothing
Yeah.
would have changed. Um
I think it's just
like
supposed to humanize her because she has a kid.
I guess, I don't know. And then her
Well, I
husband,
guess.
boyfriend, I guess, tries to come help her
Oh,
and
yeah, I forgot
Gets
about him.
his head chopped off, and then we never hear about it ever again.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
shows up in a box.
Yeah, it's
Or
a
does
nice little
it?
present.
Ooh, there's a
And then he
cake in
switches
it.
his out. Yeah, the cake looked good, just saying.
Oh, I didn't even see the cake.
Yeah, the
I
cake looked
started
pretty good.
zoning out at that point.
I
It
love that
it
we
said,
all
"Will you
zoned
be
out at
my
different.
heart?" It was cute.
Mm.
We all zoned out at different points of
I
the
know.
Yeah,
movie.
pretty much.
I was
That happened.
Honestly,
when I first
me and
paused it.
Maddie ended up talking about manga the whole time. So most of the time, and then we're like, "What the hell's going on?" And we realized that even if we were paying attention, there would be no change into our questions.
Mhm.
I do like in the basement though that they keep these random mannequins. That she pulls off the cover and there's a mannequin there, and then she dies. Whatever, she's like friggin'
PR
put
dummies.
upside down into a locker, and then another guy comes down, and you're thinking that it's gonna be her, and it's another mannequin, and then he finds her. It was an interesting repeat.
Yeah.
Um,
The creepy janitor.
Wait, was that he the janitor? I thought he
Yeah,
just was.
that was
Yeah,
the creepy janitor
I thought the
that
guy was just.
started to follow Susan and when she first got into the hospital, he's full on creeping on her at the front desk.
I thought he
Yeah,
was a patient.
it was creepy janitor.
He looks like a patient.
I mean, honestly, that entire hospital looks like one of those mm, uh, like psycho ward things that all of the words have just failed.
I thought it was a psych hospital, to be quite
There
honest
you
with
go,
you.
that one. I like psych hospital that, the doctors are just doing crazy experiments on the patients.
Yeah, and they don't believe anything she said. You think, like, they'd start realizing when their numbers of the medical staff starts disappearing that maybe her screaming that people are dying could be a
they
little
never
more
check.
believable.
They
I
never
know,
check
they
any of the
never
rooms.
No, they don't.
I mean, the only time they check was that box, and
And
she should have been like, "Ah, fuck, it's wrapped again. Someone came and messed with it."
Hmm.
Harold was very very good at making sure he is in the right place at the right time when somebody discovers the body to kill them.
Yeah. Which,
I love the sheet scene, by the way. Me and Maddie were dying when he's running down the
oh
hallway with the
yeah,
sheet.
he's got a sheet.
To quote Maddie on that scene of "I'm Batman." That's what we felt. Just
I thought he was doing a ghost impression.
I
I
don't
just
know.
thought
And
it
then he
was
just
stupid.
throws it, just
Oh.
throws the shit over top of her head, and that
Mhm.
kills her. I guess I don't know.
He stabbed
Maybe
her
he
with a
stabbed.
needle and
Did he?
injected her
Oh
with what
yeah, he
Yeah.
looked like
did.
Dr.
He did.
Pepper.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably.
oh, we couldn't get over tourniquet either when the doctor, Gropey Man, was giving her some kind of needle. He
Oh, he's
didn't tie
sucking
that
her
in.
blood.
Yeah, he didn't tie it on. So
No.
there's no way you could find a vein.
Mhm.
It made no sense.
What'd you guys think of that elevator scene with the guy dripping fucking ketchup everywhere?
That was
That was
wonderful.
that was drunk guy? Our drunk guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just leaning against the. Oh, he's dead. Is like I'm like that looks like he's getting. It looks like ketchup. Like it looks
I
like
know, that's what I
ketchup's
said. I was
dripping,
like,
and I'm like,
Yeah.
are they
that?
thinking this is blood? And then he just an
Oh,
obscene amount of ketchup is in that burger. I mean, oh my
yeah.
god,
Dropped
like
it all over her shoe. Like,
just
you had to be really
it
close
is
for it to be.
drenched in ketchup. I like ketchup. I will drench most of my stuff in ketchup, but not like that. That was like, oh, you put the whole bottle in there. Like that's a lot of fucking ketchup. What is wrong with you?
He really likes his ketchup, that's all.
Disgusting.
But yeah, this movie altogether, in my mind, I just thought it was really fucking boring. Like, it just felt like nothing was happening. And then when something was happening, I was like, I don't care. Or it just didn't make sense for it to happen. Like, how does this person not see this person? Or how does this not do this? Like, everything was happening by pure convenience for the plot. None of it made any sense for it to happen.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I was like, as soon as you didn't get your, like, test results or whatever, and, like, she was supposed to go pick up her daughter from her ex-husband's house. Like,
is that what he was?
Yeah. So as soon as that, like, that time passed, I would have been like, okay, I will just fucking come back a different day. I need to go pick up my child. Like, the fact that she just, like, willfully leaves her child, like, I'm like, what are you doing? She even gets a fucking, or she calls the house that her kid is at and finds out she's there alone because her ex-husband is a piece of trash garbage and left her there. And she's like, okay, well, don't answer the door for anybody. And I'm like, oh, the 60s or the 70s. I can't remember. When, you know, we still weren't learning about
it wasn't
stranger
okay
danger.
then either. Like,
it wasn't. That's how you got murdered.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
how
also
you
just
get
being
murdered.
yeah, that's how you get murdered for real. And abducted.
It just
Kidnapping babies.
Oh god, there is just so much wrong with this movie.
See,
I never knew a murder could be boring.
I mean, I did, but
I mean, have you seen the movies we watched?
Yes, I have. This is definitely the most boring deaths I've ever witnessed. At least the other scenes had a little bit. I do like with the whatever boyfriend, ex-husband, new husband, whatever he was to her, fiance, whatever. He willingly lets the guy come at him with I don't know the exact term. I just know they use it to cut open. Yeah, they use it to cut open like the skulls and stuff. I love the weird Chamber of Secrets scene because it sounded like Voldemort's like Tom Riddle like voice that's like ominous with the wheelchair behind the curtain.
Oh.
I did like that shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That was great, but she was dead. I think.
Yeah, she was.
Like
she had like a knife sticking out of her or something. But yeah, she was dead.
That was the like secretary lady.
Why did none of them fight to live? Like I don't understand.
Because they don't know how.
I guess not.
She
could have when she was tied down to with the bounds that they use when a patient's getting a little too like rowdy. Those are easy to came out of. Like she literally just needed to slide out of them. When the guy Harold takes her to murder her, she's laying on the table and doing nothing. She's not even strapped down to the table. She could have literally kicked the guy, punched the guy, whatever. She's just sitting there screaming.
I mean, she was struggling for a while there, and then she just gave up.
I just never understood. I don't know. I mean, she at least stabbed him. That is probably the most productive I've seen.
And catch him on fire.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, I love when he fell off the side of the building because you could tell it was a dummy. Like it wasn't even a stunt double. It was just a dummy.
I mean,
and then just
they would not drop a stunt double off the roof like that.
Yeah, they would.
Well, yeah, they would.
They would.
They would drop. Stunt doubles have done that.
They put the big old poof balloons under them to catch them, so they don't get hurt.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing that happens.
They're just trying a lot of money to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, anyone who's listening.
I just like that he exploded when he hit the ground, though.
Throw a scene in from somewhere where that happened, where a stunt double was jumped off a skyscraper like that.
I mean, not a skyscraper, but they
Yes.
do, like, jump over the edge of, like, fake buildings and then
That are
catch...
relatively high up.
Yeah, they're like a story or two.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, the stunt double didn't jump off from the building. Like, they wouldn't have jumped off from the building to the ground, is what I was saying. Like that.
They would.
They wouldn't just.
This is what they would do. They would jump off the building. So they had that scene of him jumping off the building, getting caught by the whatever, the bag thing or whatever that they fall on. Mm-hmm. And then you would do a second shot of him falling from a lower scene, probably like just a ladder or something, just like you were to jump and fall onto the ground, you know, camera angle bullshit to make it look like he fell really far and then exploded, because I guess that's what happens when he had whatever chemical on him and you fall from a height.
I mean, your brain does
become an explosion.
Explode when you hit.
That was his body. His body just exploded.
I mean, your body also kind of...
I don't know.
Yeah, he would definitely splat open, right? Like, he wouldn't just be intact like that. He would definitely be, he'd be paced at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a pretty big drop.
Flamin' jam.
Flamin' yawn. I don't know. I do have to literally credit her for
I don't think Danny knows
stabbing.
what filet mignon looks like.
I do. I love filet mignon. I just like the word. So
I was just imagining this guy now just falling down and then coming down to a perfectly just a perfectly cut steak.
Perfectly cut steak.
That'd be amazing.
Great. Cannibals would love that, you know?
That's the way to end a movie. Your killer falls off a roof and turns into a piece of steak.
I think that'd be a lot more interesting than what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would have made me go like, well, wait a minute.
Wait a second, what did I miss?
So I gotta click back here. What just happened?
Yeah.
Why are they steak? Yeah, it just like, I mean, the movie was confidently shot. I felt like it was. I mean, I'm no fucking expert on camera work, but it felt like a movie that was done by people that have made movies before. It wasn't like, you know, some of these movies we watch where it's like, yep, that's a college project right there.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Basement trash, yeah.
I hate the scene of her running down the hallway, her first person view with the camera. Oh god, I hated that. Like the camera just running everywhere.
Danny, do you have your phone next to your mic?
Yes.
Thank you. Someone's like, what the fuck is happening? Am I getting... Danny forgets where their phone is at.
I do. Because everybody I talk to is either in this podcast or...
You should only be
one
talking
other person.
To us. What are you doing? We're the only people that are important
you guys are
right
important.
Now. Yes. So,
that's creepy.
Do we have anything else to say?
The murders were... I don't even know what to say. I have no idea what to say. I want to say stuff about it.
It was...
We've done worse.
At best.
We've done better.
Yeah.
This definitely falls in like the... I can see how someone would like it.
Yeah.
But I was just bored out of my mind by the end of it. I just didn't care.
What was the winning factor was the female lead was hot as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, she was hot.
She was pretty hot. Yeah, that's the best. And you'll get to see her bajingos, so hey.
They are very... She definitely paid good money for those. They look good. Like, that... I have to... She's a Playboy bunny, you said, though, right, Justin?
That's what I was gathering, so... Yeah.
Or she's at least done some Playboy.
Yeah, or that, yeah. But yeah, because I looked up her IMDb stuff, and yeah, it looked like she had some Playboy documentary stuff on there. So
documentary?
Well, like, there's a lot of documentaries on Playboy, and then just like talking about like behind the scenes and all that stuff. So there was just a ton of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, if you want to see boobies, there is a scene of boobies, But
also porn is free. So
porn is
Porn is
free.
free. Yeah.
You could just look up the actress and then type in boobs at the end of the name, and then
most likely find them.
welcome to the games.
Yeah, that's about it.
Do you recommend it?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't even fun to watch.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't even some of these movies are enjoyable to watch if you have somebody to watch them with, because you could. And I don't know about you two, but I was watching it with somebody else, and we weren't even like, we did not pay any attention to it. When we looked over, we're like, what the fuck? And we realized it didn't matter if we were paying attention to it or not. So we continued doing what we were doing. And it's, you can't even enjoy it with anybody. So, because like other movies like Doom Asylum, you can enjoy with friends.
It always comes back to Doom Asylum.
Doom Asylum's great.
Hey, I think you're gonna enjoy Sleigh Bells with some friends too.
Like Sleigh Bellas. Yeah. Which, by the way, the what is it? The writer liked our the tweet about it or something.
Yeah, I tweeted about it and they liked it, and then and that was it. Nothing else came of it.
Yeah, that was exciting, you know.
It's no Silent Night, Deadly Night, that's for sure. I was really hoping that we'd get something out of that, but it's like it's just very mediocre. And if it just would have just gone a little more, like pushed it a little bit more into the crazy, I think that it could have at least been a lot more entertaining. But basically, if you want a movie that is this movie, but I guess slightly better, it's still not a great movie. Halloween 2 is the exact same movie, basically, only you get Michael Myers instead of Harold.
Harold's his awkward cousin.
Yeah, Harold Myers.
They don't talk about Harold. They don't invite him to the family reunions.
There is no reunion. They're all dead. Don't watch this movie. Or do. You know, you're your own person.
It
sucked.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for it to be over. It's just like, I'm falling asleep.
Every time I went to look at like the time to see how far it went into the movie, we were at 45 minutes, and then we were at like an hour and 10 or something. And we're like, what the hell's going on? Like, there is no progression. We are confused.
The first time I paused it, I was at the hour mark and went, 30 more minutes. Let's go.
First time I paused it was 20 minutes in, and I was like, Jesus fuck. I was like, oh God. I was like, somebody better start dying.
I just kept waiting for like, okay, something crazy is gonna happen. It's gonna go somewhere. And then it never happened. And when I finally realized that, I just gave up in my mind. Like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
How is the Humpty Dumpty movie better than this?
Yeah, that's saying something. That's really saying something.
No, I've already blocked that one out.
I forgot we watched it until just now.
Yeah, I forgot. There's a couple movies I forgot we watched. Like, I'll go back to check our analytics on stuff, and like, if people ask me, because I talk about the podcast a lot, I'll like talk about like episodes, so I'll go back to like episodes and I'll scroll through and I'll be like, oh shit, we did watch this, or we watched this one. And I'm like, I blocked out a lot of movies.
Yeah, like, you tend to.
Like when I pulled up American Poltergeist, I was like, oh yeah, we watched this.
That one.
Or that Italian horror movie, the
spaghetti one.
The spaghetti.
It was. Oh God, what was it? It doesn't matter.
I can bring it in. Give me a second.
No, it's fine.
Well, now it
doesn't matter anymore. We're not talking about
absurd.
The movie, so we're done.
Absurd.
Yeah, another movie with way too many titles.
I was like, there was another movie we watched where it had like a million titles. That was the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
That was.
If you are interested in listening to any of those episodes, they're listed under this episode. Like, wherever you listen to things, there it is. If it's not there, go somewhere else because it's there.
We're on Spotify, Google Podcast. We are on iHeartRadio, but I don't really understand iHeart because they tell me we're on there. They tell me the episodes are on there, but I look it up and I can't find it. So I'm pretty sure they're lying to me. I don't know.
Wherever you listen to a podcast, it's there. Unless it's SoundCloud, then it's not there. But, everywhere else, it's fine. You'll find it. You'll definitely find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else out in the world called apartment theater, so it's pretty easy to find.
Which,
just saying,
bless for that, because that is the most annoying thing starting out.
I know.
Having a name that you can't find.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took us a while to come up with the name too.
No, it didn't. Somebody Justin randomly said it in reference to something else.
Yeah,
and
we
then,
were saying
and
all
then I
kinds
was
of
like,
stupid
that's
shit.
That's a podcast right there. And I wrote it down, and then months later, we're like, let's start a podcast. And I'm like, it's called Apartment Theater. There you go.
Hooray.
It's about movies.
That's our origin story.
Yeah, just a little extra detail for you. Also, whatever the other social media bullshit is that people do, go ahead and do that.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're done.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening here now. It's kind of like the movie, You just kind of
fucking end it. Quit. Just fucking end it. Fucking end it.
Get the fuck out right now.
Do it.
Get out.
Get out.
Fuck off.
Lord.